Something is not adding up. And it's not small, it's structural. We are now at the Boksburg Magistrates Court. And what's coming out here raises serious questions about how this process unfolded. The state spent weeks building a cell phone-based narrative, trying to link Ntanzi to a man they say was his lawyer, Mjiako. But the moment advocate Ramasepele starts re-examining, that version begins to fall apart. Ntanzi says this man just appears. He claims he's his lawyer and he was sent by his sister. Simple question. Which sister? Where's the number? Where's the proof? Nothing. No confirmation. No record. And now under re-examination, these details matter even more. Listen carefully to this.
Now let's speak about the events at the Boksburg Magistrates Court. Mr. Ntanzi, the reason why I'm asking in this format, I'm asking it in the manner in which you were cross-examined. So I'm not following the logical sequence of how I led you in the evidence in chief. I'm following the cross-examination as it happens. So it jumps from one day to the next, and but the essence is to clarify the issues relating to that cross-examination.
Asiyeke manje kudaba lasenkantolo eBoksburg. Isizathu ke mnumzana uNtanzi ukuthi ngikubuze ngale ndlela ke ngilandela ke indlela ke obuhlonywa ngayo imibuzo uyena ke umshushisi angikubuzi ngale ndlela ebengikubuze ngayo eqaleni ngesikhathi bekuyimina ke bekhola noma ke ekubuza ke imibuzo ingakho ke ngithi ngisuka la ngiye lapha indlela ke imibuzo obuyibuzwa ngayo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now you testified that at the Boksburg Magistrates Court, as you are being led by Mohani and the escort that was accompanying Mohani into the building of the court, you were then approached by a male person that says, I'm a lawyer, I'm sent by your sister to come and assist you. Do you remember that?
Utheke kubufakazi bakho esikhathi ke niya khona ke lapha eBoksburg uhamba noMohani kanye noMabhenaki lapho wahlangana khona ke nomuntu wesilisa owathi umeli uthunywe usisi wakho ukuthi azokumela.
Yeah.
Yes.
We now know that person is Mr. Mjiako.
Siyazi ke manje ukuthi umuntu loyo kwakuMjiako.
Now the question is, Mr. Ntanzi, how much time did you have with Mr. Mjiako to communicate and interact with him before you were led into the magistrate's office in room 2 at the Boksburg Magistrates Court?
Umbuzo yilona ke ingabe waba nesikhathi esingakanani ke ukuthi ke ukhulumeke noMjiako esekushilo ke lokho ukuthi ubani yena uthunywe ubani kwaba isikhathi esingakanani owaba naso naye ngaphambi kokuthi uhambeke uye kwi-office le manje eroom 2?
Osenkantolo kubanga isikhathi eside.
My lord, it was not for a long time.
Ngoba yonke into yenzeka speed ngangeniswa phakathi.
Because everything happened fast and I was taken inside.
The reason I'm asking you this is that the state posited to you that on the 24th of June 2020 at Boksburg Magistrates Court, you did not ask Mjiako what his name was because you already knew his name and who he was from your consultation with him on the 23rd of June 2020 at Mood SAPS.
Manje ke sizathu ke sokuthi ke ngikubuze lokho ke ingoba ke mshushisi kuwena ke akusho kuwena ukuthi awuzange umbuzo uMjiako ngalela langa la nge-24 June 2020 lapha eBoksburg ukuthi ubani nombuza igama lakhe ingoba wawuse umazi vele ukuthi ubani ngoba ngelanga elingaphambili nge-23 zika June 2020 ilela langa ohlezi phansi naye uqoqisana phecelezi ke uconsulta naye epolice station yasePretoria Mood.
Akulona iqiniso lena.
That's not true, my lord.
Ilanga lami lokuqala ukumbona lelo la ngalo langa la 24 eBoksburg ilanga lami lokuqala la ngibona nje mina.
On that day, my lord, on the 24th of June 2020 in Boksburg, that was the very first day that I saw him.
So mayukuthi kuthiwa phambi kwecourt mina ngase ngeke ngambona yini pho azothi kimi ngithunywe usisi wakho ufanele usisi wakho izolo ngithunywe usisi wakho mase ngithi angibonisa inamba ka6 asangibonise futhi.
If, my lord, it is being alleged or claimed that I had seen him before, why is it then that on that day he then told me that I am so and so and I've been sent by your sister and your sister called me yesterday so that I come and represent you? When I then asked him or requested him to show me my sister's number, he didn't do that.
Okay. Let's move on to a different aspect, Mr. Ntanzi, which is the communication between your cell number with 6890 and that of Mjiako with number 7605. Now, the state has taken, like I said at the beginning when we started our interaction, that they've taken you through cell phone records extensively for a period of over 2 weeks. So we're not going to repeat what they said, Mr. Ntanzi.
Asidlulele kolunye ke udaba manje udaba ke lo phumana ke phakathi kwakho noma ke inamba yakho u6890 kanye nenamba ke abathi ke idaba kaMjiyako u7605. Udaba ke lokuxhumana kwakho udaba ke umshushisi ke achitheke isikhathi esingangamaviki amabili ke nawe asingeke ke siphinde noma siphinde ke lokho bese nikhulumile.
What is crucial though is that the state taking you through the cell phone records between the communication between the number 6890 and 7605 posited to you that the police call miss between the two numbers started on the 31st of August 2020.
Okusemqoka ke lana ukuthi ke kuloko bekushiwo ke umshushisi kuwena ke ukuthi laba please call me ababe bethunyelwa ke phakathi ke kwale number kuyinamba yakho 6890 na 7605 baqala nge31 August 2020.
You remember that?
Uyakhumbula lokho?
ngiyakhumbula lesho.
I remember him saying.
Now, what is of importance with respect to this communication between 6890 and 7605 is this, Mr. Ntanzi. There is no telephonic contact between the two numbers on the 23rd of June 2020, the very day when the state alleges that Mjiako consulted with you on the 23rd of June 2020 at Mod SAPS.
Manje ke nge-23 zika June 2020 ngalo ilanga leli umshushisi noma ke abashushisi abathi ilanga ke leli owaconsulta ngalo naye uMjiyako ePolice Station yasePretoria Mood. Akukho ukuxhubana kukhona phakathi kwalama namba amabili ngalelo langa lelo ngaphendula.
As a court, please, my lord, we do appreciate this is re-examination, but counsel is also putting leading questions interspersed with argument. We submit, my lord, that this last question is just simply a leading question and also stroke argument.
I'll rephrase, my lord. I'll rephrase. Mr. Ntanzi, were you shown from the cell phone records communication between 6890 and 7605 on the 23rd of June 2020?
Manje ke kulama record buwakhonjiswa ke lana ke okuxhumana ke ngaba khona yini owakhonjiswa phakathi kwenamba u6890 na 7605 kwange-23 zika June 2020?
Cha Nkosi Nkandla.
No, my lord.
Did you personally notify Mjiako that you were held in detention at Mod SAPS on the 23rd of June 2020?
Ingabe wena wamtshela yini ngokwakho uMjiyako ukuthi wena wawusesitokisini ePolice Station yasePretoria Mood?
Cha ngizange ngimtshela Nkosi Nkandla.
No, I never informed him, my lord.
Ingakho nalapha phambi kwakho bengishilo naqala mina ngisafuna ngitshene ukuthi mhlawumbe ngazi ukuthi ubani wayemtshela ukuthi ngiboshiwe.
Hence, I said before the court, my lord, that I still request or expect from him to tell me as to he informed him that I was arrested.
Nokuthi ubani lo wayemkhokhela ngoba ekhaya yimi ngisebenza ukuthi ubani wayemkhokhela.
As well as who was providing or giving him financial instructions, because I was the one that was gainfully employed at home.
As the court pleases, my lord, I see we are fast approaching 11:20. Will this be an opportune moment to take the short adjournment?
Okay, yes.
That right there is not a small issue. That is the foundation of the entire process, and it's shaky. Let's stop pretending this is just confusion or memory gaps. What Ntanzi is describing, if it is true, is a situation where a man appears as a lawyer without clear instruction. There is no confirmed consultation, and he is taken straight into a formal court process. And the law is not silent on this. Under Section 35.2b of the Constitution of South Africa, every detained person has the right to choose and to consult with a legal practitioner, not to be assigned one randomly, not to meet one in passing, not to be represented without understanding what's happening. Then it goes further. Section 35.5 is very clear. Evidence obtained in a manner that violates any right in the Bill of Rights must be excluded if it renders the trial unfair or is otherwise detrimental to the administration of justice. So the question is simple. If there was no proper consultation, if this lawyer cannot be traced to any real instruction, if there is no record confirming the state's version, then what exactly is the state relying on? Because you cannot build a case on a process that is itself questionable, and then expect the outcome to be trusted. And now let's deal with the elephant in the room, the alleged confession. In South African law, a confession must be freely and voluntarily made, without undue influence, with full understanding of rights. That's not optional, that's basic. So if a person is unsure who their lawyer is, not properly consulted, moved quickly through the system, then any so-called confession coming out of that environment must be treated with extreme caution. You cannot create pressure, confusion, or procedural shortcuts, and then turn around and say, but he confessed. That's not how justice works. That's how cases collapse. And let's be very careful here. Ntanzi is not even admitting that he made this confession. He is denying it. So now the burden becomes even heavier on the state. Prove it was made. Prove it was lawful. Prove it was voluntary. And if they cannot do that convincingly, then under the very Constitution they are supposed to uphold that evidence should not see the light of day in a fair trial. This is no longer just about what was said. It's about how it was obtained. And in law, that distinction changes everything. Because once the process is compromised, everything built on top of it starts to fall apart. If the state can't prove how this confession was lawfully obtained, what case do they really have? When the process is unclear, who benefits from that? So, if the process itself is in question, can the outcome ever be trusted? Drop your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you on my next upload. I'm Skybridge. Goodbye.